Hi everyone, so I'm looking at a great question in the unit on linear functions, and it might seem out of the box and something you've never seen before, but you really have to think a little bit about your prior knowledge. So it says show that triangle ABC is a right triangle. So we do need to know what a right triangle is, right? And so a right triangle that you've been learning probably since probably about the third grade is a triangle with one right angle. Okay, so it has a right angle. That means a 90-degree angle. So again, you might still be saying, Coach Fred, why is this in the chapter on linear functions? Well, in this chapter, you've learned about parallel and perpendicular lines. So let's talk a second about perpendicular lines. Okay, so perpendicular lines are lines that meet at a right angle. Lines who intersect at a right angle. So if I give you a line going like this and a line going like this, they would be perpendicular if they met at a right angle right there. And so perpendicular lines and their slopes can help us determine if we have a right angle. If we have a right angle in a triangle, then we would have a right triangle. So, all right, let's talk about perpendicular lines. What you've learned recently is that perpendicular lines, so perpendicular lines, that's the symbol, have opposite reciprocal slopes. Opposite reciprocal slopes. So in looking at this triangle over here, I'm actually going to think about trying to, let's try this. Let me see if I can make that work. I'm going to try and see what the slope of this line here is. Okay, so I'm going to call that line AC. Okay, so I'm going to try and find the slope of AC. All right, so I've got two ordered pairs at the end of it. I get 4 minus 2 all over 2 plus 4, which gives me 4 minus 2 all over 2, plus 2. Let me try that again. So that gives me 4 minus 2 all over 2 plus 2, so 2 over 4, which is a half. So the slope of line AC is a half. So now I'm going to move over and I'm going to try this one because this is what appears to be the right angle, right? We don't want to assume, but let's try this line right here. So that's line CB. So let's find the slope of line CB. All right, so that would be 2 plus 2 all over negative 2 minus 0, which gives me 4 over negative 2, which gives me negative 2. All right, so already I can see that these are opposite reciprocals. Opposite reciprocals. So that tells me that the lines are perpendicular, so therefore they meet at a right angle, and then ABC is a right triangle. Hopefully that was a helpful video. Have a great day.